Hi there, I'm still Ms. Lee. So we're going to go ahead and do one last solving example. So this one you see there's a lot of polynomials going on, a lot of fractions. And so of course we're going to follow the usual steps and we're going to go ahead and factor everything that we see. So factor anything. And so each of those denominators can be factored. And so we'll make a big X for this first one. So if you make your big X, you put -3 at the top, -2 at the bottom. And then you have -3 and 1. And so that would be 3 over x minus 3 times x plus 1 minus 1 over, and then this is a difference of squares. This is a difference of squares. So you have x plus 1 times x minus 1 equals, and then we make our big X for that one too. We put 7 at the top, -8 at the bottom. That'll be -7 and -1 to add up to -8 and multiply to +7. So we have 2 over x minus 1 times x minus 7. Okay. So like I said in the previous videos, you want to always combine fractions, use the simplifying sort of methods you were taught before to make it so that there's one fraction on each side of the equation. So we're going to write each side of the equation as one fraction. And as you can see here, the right side of the equation already is one fraction. And so we'll go ahead and just combine these two. And so you'll notice that those denominators are different. And so you need to subtract them and you need to find a common denominator. And so the common denominator would be taking one of the ones that they have in common and then multiplying by each of the ones that they don't have in common. So each of the factors that they don't have in common. So basically for this one, you want to multiply by any missing factors that are over here. So the x plus 1 matches up, but the x minus 1 doesn't. And so you want to multiply by x minus 1. And then over here, same thing, the x plus 1 matches up, but the x minus 3 doesn't. So you have to multiply this one by x minus 3. Oops. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So we're multiplying this one by x minus 1 over x minus 1 because that's the one that was missing. And then this one we're multiplying by x minus 3 over x minus 3. So if you multiply all of this out, or at least the numerators, over here you have 3x minus 3. Then you distribute this minus sign since it's 1 times. You just distribute -1 times each of these. So you have minus 1x and then plus 3. And then you have divided by x plus 1 times x minus 1 times x minus 3 equals 2 over x minus 1 times x minus 7. So as we learned before, you basically want to multiply each side of the equation with the denominator from the other side. So if you multiply both sides by x minus 1, x minus 7, so this, it would cancel out on this side, but then it would end up in the numerator on this side. So that's what we want to go ahead and do once we finish simplifying. So if you go ahead and simplify this, you'll see that you have minus 3 plus 3, so that's 0. And then you have 3x minus x, so that's 2x. So we have 2x over x plus 1 times x minus 1 times x minus 3 equals 2 over x minus 1 times x minus 7. So like I was saying earlier, we'll go ahead and multiply both sides by each of the denominators. Okay, so multiply each side of the equation by each of the denominators. So we're going to start by multiplying both sides by x minus 1 times x minus 7. Okay, and so you'll notice on the right side there, the purpose of us multiplying by that is because they'll get rid of the denominator, basically. On the left side, you'll actually see that since there's one of the factors in common, the x minus 1, those will also divide out or 1 out. And so you're left with 2x times x minus 7 over x plus 1 times x minus 3 equals 2. And so, like I said earlier, we'll go ahead and also multiply by the denominator here. So we're multiplying by x plus 1 times x minus 3. Okay, and the point of that is so on the left side, the x plus 1s will 1 out or divide out, and then x minus 3 over x minus 3 will 1 out or divide out. And so what we're left with is 2x times x minus 7. So that's 2x squared minus 14x because we distribute that 2x, and then equals 2 times, and then we'll go ahead and multiply this out in a little box. So we have x1, x minus 3, x times x is x squared, 1 times x is x times negative 3 is negative 3x, and 1 times negative 3 is negative 3. So we add that up and we have x squared minus 2x minus 3. And so we're left with 2x squared minus 14x equals 2x squared minus, and we're distributing that 2, and we get minus 4x minus 6. And so when you subtract the 2x squares go away, you add the 4x to the other side, you have negative 10x equals negative 6. And so you have x equals negative 6 divided by negative 10, which means x equals 3/5. And we'll go ahead and substitute that into the original equation. For those of us who are find it a little bit more difficult to plug in a fraction into a fraction and polynomial, you can go ahead and use your calculators. You can use Desmos to check it. But yeah, let's go ahead and use our calculators to check the equation. So the original equation says 3 over x squared minus 2x minus 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 3 divided by 5, and I'm going to store that into x. So store is the stow button, stow with an arrow above the on button, this one right here. Okay, and you press enter, and then we're going to do 3 divided by, in parentheses, x squared minus 2x minus 3, close parentheses, minus, and then 1 over x squared minus 1. That should have been in parentheses. So you want to make sure you put the denominator in parentheses always. Otherwise, it's going to do like 1 over x squared and then minus 1 separately. Okay, and you press equals, and then you do the other side. So you do 2 divided by, in parentheses, x squared minus 8x plus 7, close parentheses. Hopefully you get the same thing, and you do. And so x equals 3/5. Okay, so don't forget to always check your answer just to make sure that the answers are not extraneous. Okay, so go ahead and do some more practice. Happy day.